So, hello everybody. Welcome back to a very nice and exciting Theta Thursday. How's everyone doing
Don't set them
tonight?
up for that.
Yes, it is exciting.
Hello.
Is it muted? Is there no audio?
I guess I can't hear. Fix it.
Hold on, my thing is
Oh, there is audio.
They're
Yes,
probably just
I just
fucking
checked.
there
with
is
you, 'cause
audio?
There
Okay.
wasn't audio last time.
Okay.
Okay, we're fine then. Alright, fine, coolio. So hello, welcome. We got a crap ton of topics to cover today. A lot of war movement over the past couple of days.
Finally.
Finally, this war actually begins.
And Redline, if you're watching, if you ever, please come to Delve. I know you said on your stream that they're like you were complaining about them not letting you FC, but please come to Delve and FC. Like, don't let them hold you back. Come on and show us what you're made of. Come to Delve and let us kill you. And
He
then
already
we can
promised
tell
he's gonna
everyone
burn the
what
replay.
a great, great FC you are.
You had to follow that one when you said great FC.
Yeah,
So
have to be
we
nice.
have a couple. We have a couple different guests on tonight. We have returning guests of Docs, Ragnar, DeClorian, who is not feeling super great, so he's not going to be on camera today, guys. I'm sorry.
Have I been demoted to guest?
You are like recurring guest.
Special guest.
And then we do have the
Very
special
special.
guest of Lil Maniac, who's been on once before, and then Seabass, who's never been on,
Hello.
but he is one of my favorite people. So I had him join us today. Maybe we'll get there's hopefully some get people showing up later, but it just depends on what happens tonight. So let's jump into it. This week has finally been like the first week of action-packed almost every night, at least in USTZ. And I mean, I've had to like sit down, pings go out, and I'm gone for most of the evening. We'll probably start in chronological order. But I guess let's do a general consensus. How are you guys feeling about this week?
I am
Tired?
having fun this week. I am having so much fun. Oh my god, like I actually get to undock. I actually get to do something after school. I'm excited for it.
It's a
Okay, so
separate
that's your
sound.
after school club. What about Eve?
Seabass, you've been gone for a while,
I
and you're
have
kind
been
of getting
gone
your
for a
feet back
while.
in.
Yeah, I took I think like a 6-month break from the game and came back and decided to see what's going on.
And then DeClorian's been leading Fleet.
I'm not leading
Ragnar's been
fleets.
doing stuff.
I'm sorry,
been
I've
doing
not
stuff.
been doing leading fleet. Okay, just make it clear I have been sick just for the past week. It's not
I think
COVID,
some
no.
of my week in Eve has been shot stuff, didn't die, call it a success.
Which we'll get to that a little bit later. And then Maniac's here, who got to do a lot of stuff last night too. Pretty scary, actually, at one point.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I was primaried by a lot of dreads in my necks.
I
And
was so sure you were going to
lived.
go down.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
really care either way. Like I have, 4 other supers I can fly.
I think I got a primary by the mutant fleet as I was the aggressor.
My Megathron. So this is a little funny with the tie-dye fest that was yesterday. My Megathron, right, gets primaried by 3 sabers of all things, right? And they're starting to hit my Megathron. I'm like, okay, it's just 3 sabers, like whatever. Next thing you know, I get 13 yellow boxes from Eagles and another like 50 of them, and I'm just like going down. And with the tie-dye lagging like hell, I'm sitting here for 10 straight minutes on 0% structure, still shooting at people while dead. And I didn't.
We'll get into the fight stuff in more detail here in a minute. But because like I have my stories, I think all of us have our own personal story of what happened in that fight. Because it's pretty fucking crazy for everybody involved. But let's hit some topics before that, because that could go. We could take like 45 minutes probably talking about that fight last night. Way earlier this week, we dropped some dreads and killed a titan. Pretty fun, pretty standard. But the reaction to it afterwards was probably the best part. I don't know if the rest of you watched Talking in Stations on Sunday, but
You mean crying in stations?
whatever you want to call it. But they had some guests on there, and one of them that is the leader of that particular pilot that we killed, he was very adamant about just going over and bypassing at talking about that at all. He was trying to downplay the fact that we murdered his Titan, or one of his people's Titans, on a solo move up, like an idiot, and then proceeded to murder the response fleet as well, which I found to be the funniest part of the drop in general. He also claimed that we sat there for 12 hours watching them do the move up, waiting for an opportunity to drop on somebody. I can assure you, I was not there for 12 hours. I think we were standby for maybe two or three, and I would just kind of like had my character off to the side. I was doing other stuff, and they just pinged it out, said, "Let's go." And we
Plus,
went.
I would like to add that you're criticizing us for supposedly sitting for 12 hours watching you move up. Like, you guys don't do the same thing when we move. Like,
Oh
the
my
fuck?
god.
Yeah, you guys sat there for 12 hours waiting for them to screw up. Yeah, you guys fucking do that too. Like, don't even come at us with that shit. Everyone does it.
Remember during when we were moving to Tribute? And they just had like an entire fleet of Scepters following all of our Titans and stuff as we were gating through regionals.
Or like when Init was evacing to Delve, or like, you know, we lost 2 Titans or whatever it was.
Don't think we haven't seen the 4-0 spy cam on Twitch. Like, you guys monitor us 24/7, and we do the same. Like,
well, how can you not? You have to be
Yeah,
monitoring greatness at all times to see what else they can do to improve themselves.
exactly.
you mean like how they stole our Immunity Doctrine?
And they stole our
Eagles?
Super Train Doctrine.
And the Supers, the Eagles they stole? Salt Fleet? Like, dang. Man, they stole all of our stuff because they are just copying us. They want to be goons, but they can't be goons.
Well, I forgot. I think it was also in Crying in Stations where they actually asked Villy, like, no bullshit, what's the reason why, like, you started this war? And I believe he answered it's because Test, or Testicle, or Legacy, or whoever, would always be second in comparison to the Imperium if they didn't do something. So, you know, it's not really because goons are bad for the game, it's to save someone's ego because they can't handle being second place.
So how that drop went, because clearly, like, it's on YouTube now. Like, the whole like drop is on YouTube, so y'all can watch it. But basically, what happened is I didn't see the setup, but a Titan jumped to a Sino by himself. They have a minute in a timer where they can't tether. That, I believe that in that time is when our guys jumped in with the Hicks, grabbed him. We dropped dreads at like 20 to 30K. Unfortunately, I bounced, so I was just like slow boating away, slowly but surely. And then, so if you watch the video, I'm that like random thing way out there. And then, so we killed the the Titan in like 20 seconds. It had almost no shields after like 10. It was ridiculous.
That was a horrible fit.
It was a terrible fit, and then he didn't have his hardeners on because he didn't have cap from jumping. He couldn't activate his hull energizer, which was the dumbest thing to have on there in general. And then he couldn't activate any hardeners because we neutered him dry in one cycle from all the dreads. So he dropped like a rock. So we're sitting there, if you watch the video, we're sitting there hanging out waiting when all of a sudden an enemy Sino appears on grid sitting on tether, so we know these are suicide dreads. We're probably going to die. So We're sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden they sign them up. Dreads come in. We're expecting supers and titans and like a ton of stuff. The same kind of response you get if we dropped in Delve to kill enemy dreads if we could catch them. Because we were bubbled to fuck. We weren't going anywhere. They dropped less dreads than we had on the field. So we were like, looked at all each other. We're like, all right, let's fucking kill him. Go, siege up, siege up. And we killed every single dreadnought that was in front of us. And we got, I believe, 20 of the 30 dreads out. Unfortunately, not me. I died. I was the last one to die.
So the funny thing is Evictus had dreads formed, and they waited until we jumped out to jump in their dreads. So they would have been another like 16, 17 dreads on grid, but Evictus wouldn't jump in.
What
I
I
mean, it's
said.
hard to lose dreads when you're late to the game, right?
Yeah, true.
That's one of the things that we called at the beginning, like because they can form wherever they want. But you cannot forget one specific thing that we have in this community. It's people are not afraid of
I
losing
wonder
their
if
shit.
there's something
Since
to that,
we have
though.
we have so much
If, like,
ISK
Docs, do you have
that
Deflorian muted? Because you keep talking over him.
maybe I do.
Okay, check
sake,
that.
Doc.
Continue,
you like-
Deflorian.
Okay, so basically, that's one of the things that we talked about. Like, goons we are not afraid of dropping our dreads and suiciding them, while our other guys may be afraid of that, and that's one of the interesting things about it. It's a lot of guys, and a lot in this war, a lot of guys from the other side are not going to jump right away when they are called for. So this is one of the most interesting things that will happen. It's we dropping our supers. If there is that huge fight that everyone's hoping that every super gets on field, like we're going to drop our supers, and the enemy are going to drop their supers. The thing is, they are going to drop it in waves because of the scaredy cats that they have behind. So yeah, this is going to be fun.
Scaredy
So-
cats, tactical, who knows?
I didn't have the Croria muted, but I couldn't hear him for someone, but I've fixed it now. I mean,
Okay,
for some
perfect.
reason.
So
I
that
was pretty happy, like when I joined the super fleets and I saw the Matani in fleet chat. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Even if we fucking die, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Like I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Like it's space pixels. Like I guess in one way or another, it does kind of matter. Like yeah, you want to protect the homeland or whatever, but like it's just a ship, you know, and like I had 100 dreads on me and like nothing was working. Yeah, and I just put in corp chat. I was like, "Lol, I'm about to die."
So
I think you
And,
warped off
the-
something.
No. So I was able to pull my fighters in, and then like I was looking at the countdown, right? And so it was like 9 seconds left on tether or something, and like my shields just went from 100% to 0, and I went into armor. I was like, yeah, 9 seconds was a long time in that tie-dye. And then it got to 0, and I was like, why the hell am I not tethering? And I looked, and I realized that I still had a couple dreads locked, and it was keeping me from tethering. And so I was trying to unlock. Nothing was working. It wasn't like nothing was responding at all. And then finally it unlocked as it looked like I was in pretty big trouble. And then I tethered and repped completely up.
Now, the way you say that story, it's all a bait, okay? I had them
Yeah.
locked so they would keep shooting me, okay? And when I got to
Oh,
Hull,
yeah.
I just unlocked them all and tethered up. That's how you tell the
Nah.
story. You need
Nah,
to learn.
I was just being a dumb bitch. That's all it was.
Well, so after we killed that Titan, to get back on track a little bit, after we killed that Titan, the next day, the head of Brave, Dunk, was absolutely not wanting to talk about it. He's like, it happens. People die in move ups all the time. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Technically, people die, but you did not expect that at all. Because your Titans and shit were just warping through that gate willy nilly all fucking day. And now, from what I hear, they are paranoid about going through that gate. And they are like having protection fleets now. And like, we're
Which
the
is what you
boogeyman.
should do.
And it feels good. Yeah. But it feels
Oh,
good to be the
right, okay.
boogeyman at Eve.
Weren't there like jump freighters gating around places with T1
Yeah!
cruiser cover fleets.
Yeah, I
Dude,
heard about that.
Brave are just doing stupid shit in Queries. Like, I watch it like a hawk, and like I've just seen people gate around in freighters, like with only their own personal ships scouting for them, like a cruiser. Like, I just see the dumbest shit happening. I'm like, if I, had a fleet formed, you'd be fucking dead. And so I've just been watching the pattern, see who's doing what, and I'm like keeping a fucking eye on Querius everywhere. So as soon as I see someone slipping up, I'm gonna be there. And I'm sure that's true for most goons, especially SIGs meant for hunting Brave or Pappy or Anaconda shitters who think it's safe to just gate around stuff.
Can we talk about that name, Anaconda, real quick? Is that like the weirdest name to have
So
for your coalition?
here's the thing. I was talking about this yesterday, and I'm gonna quote Dirk on this one. They renamed themselves to Anaconda because Pappy kept passing on fighting us, so they had to recreate Anaconda to actually fight us for once in their lives. So that's why Pappy's dead because Pappy could not kill the Imperium. Pappy failed to kill the Imperium, so now Anaconda has to pick up the slack.
I think it's a fitting name. It's a slow snake that normally they kind of just sit there and wait for food to come to them.
It also
So,
can't really put up a fight either.
No, not if you control the head. Yeah, I know it was Elise who introduced it as a ploy for Billy, saying he's going to wrap his anaconda around Dell. I don't think it's quite that long.
I have a lot of great ways to jump in, and I'm controlling myself. You see,
You
guys?
are being very good.
I'm behaving.
The Corian's like,
So to move forward through the week, so we had Sunday. Nothing really happened other than that salt, which was amazing and delicious. So then it was either Monday night or Tuesday night. We had the big fight over the Tatara.
Can I just say what Mike Flood just PM'd me?
What?
Go for
Depends what it is.
Big black anaconda cop.
Christ.
It's so funny that he's Canadian too. It's even better.
I didn't finish the word, so I didn't say the swear word, guys. So continue on.
It's big black anaconda rooster, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah. Just when I heard that name, and it was 2 different weeks they said the name, and I've been super adamant about it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna meme the fuck out of this. Everybody start memeing.
Well, it's super easy to meme because, Pappy had all the qualities of a snake. Opportunistic hunters. They didn't really fight anything bigger than themselves.
we're gonna pass on this one, guys. We outformed them by 300 subcaps, but
they're cold-blooded. Snakes have been historically seen as evil, backstabbing, conniving pieces of shit. So it goes well with their coalition.
Did you just use the word conniving?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means, but go on.
I approve.
And someone said that no one in Pappy calls it anaconda. That's a lie. Elise, who is clearly your leader. Yeah, Dunk says it. Elise says it, and Billy did not disagree with it and said you can call us whatever you like. So I watch things.
Yeah, I do. I saw the clips as well.
I watched the whole show because I like drama.
I don't have time to watch all the shows. I don't have time to watch all of them.
I fall asleep to them at night, because they're so
could you imagine falling asleep to Billy speaking? That's a little creepy.
I woke up one Saturday morning to you talking on a stream.
Look,
that was really weird. I was like,
I woke up. Why are my ears bleeding? Oh my god!
Why is Mifune?
Oh my god! Oh, but you would love to wake up to my voice.
I'd like to wake up to something else you have, but that's besides the point.
Is it a rooster? Tell me it's the rooster.
No, it's a pretty big rooster.
It's a packin' rooster.
Oh god.
multiple
It's
colors.
you see, guys, it's not me.
No, and like legit. Never mind. Continue, Don.
So, so I think it was either Monday night or Tuesday night. And Mike, were you NFC or a backup FC in that fight over the Tatara? Okay, no big deal. So, it was one of those nights. We had the big fight over the Tatara.
Can you hear me?
I was in the super trains.
You're keying up, but
Oh,
you're
yeah, we
super
can hear
low.
you.
Okay.
I have you on max
Okay.
volume, Mike, and you're super low still. So
Okay, thanks, Blazing.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah.
yeah,
There
little,
you-
Hello?
very little.
Okay.
So, Tuesday night was the
Okay.
Tatara fight,
Yeah.
and we had super trains and Baltecs. I didn't know there were Baltecs because I would have gone on that instead. Only because I love my Guardian, but
Okay, now can you hear me?
yeah. Mike, do you want to go over the fight on Tuesday?
Yeah. So Tuesday we had like a rogue fleet. The Baltics didn't form till much later, and then it had 50 Ravens. So all of fucking whatever the fuck they're calling themselves are formed up. So they form up. They come here. So they had three Eagle fleets, 2 Munin fleets, and a Jackdaw fleet, versus 1 rogue fleet and 50 Ravens. So we form up I think it was like about 160 Baltics. I was with Asher with the rogue fleet. And so we started engaging, and funnily enough, they were all shooting the same guy at one point, and he was tanking. Like our faxes were able to catch most of our rogues. So Villy then escalated with dreads, then we escalated with 20 or so dreads. We wiped out their initial dreads, and then all of Happy just immediately dropped everything. And then a bunch of people were claiming that we midded supers. We didn't mid supers. That's a lie. And I was laughing my ass off. They're like, "Oh yeah, goons midded supers. They were ready to go." And I'm just like, "We didn't mid."
Yeah, if there had been midded super, I would not have been in a sub cap.
Yeah, there were midded supers, and they almost tried to claim that. And I go, "No, there wasn't. Y'all had a bunch of shit formed up." So it was a fun fight. We did die, but that's life.
Can we just talk about how much Happy is lying to their line members about how much we ping? Because
Yeah.
and this is gonna lead into
yeah.
the next fight, but last night's fight, right? Last night's fight, there was no pings for it, beforehand.
No, we were pinging all day.
So,
we were pinging all day.
according to
No.
Billy, we were
All
pinging
day.
all
Every
day for
5
that
minutes.
fight. So here's the funny thing: we didn't ping at all. Asher had a fleet the previous night, and Asher was like, "Oh yeah, guys, Billy is like rage pinging for about this time tomorrow. Just be ready for about it." And so we were like, "Okay, we'll be there." Right? And then it's like 2 hours before the fight breaks out, and like Billy's like, "Oh my god, Goons have been pinging about this thing all day, guys. It's so hyped." And I'm like, "Oh my god, why?"
Yeah,
It's such
like
a
the
lie.
only ping I was on base because I have classes at home, so I have like our pinging thing open all day. So I like saw the pings, and the only time like what Mifune said that they pinged about it might have been like earlier in the day to remind like maybe
For the
Euros to stay up late.
UTVs to stay up.
Yeah. So like to remind the Euros, and then as he said, only 2 hours before the fight, and it wasn't even that he was pinging for the fight. He was pinging saying that Anaconda had been saying we had been pinging all day, and he decided, well, might as well start pinging now.
Yeah, and like we usually get copies of the pings or get read out the pings, and it's most of the words of them you're like, what?
And Nick Sharp 20, we'll talk about it, so just chill. Anyways,
And-
continue, Don.
And Blazing, if you want to come on, we can discuss in the future, but not tonight probably.
Maybe we
Everybody's
could
busy.
Talk about vendetta prices.
Ooh, yeah. I set off a bomb on Reddit about that.
The vendetta
Continue.
prices.
So if you look at the kill report, I think it was 300 bill to 700 bill is kind of what it
The updated
evened out to.
report. No, the updated report is so much
It's
worse.
800 bill on our end.
Oh, okay. I'm
800.
sorry.
Almost a
But I
trillion
mean,
It's
on
really
our-
whatever.
super-
At that point, it's just
At
like
that
might as
point-
well say a trillion. Like fuck it.
It's a fucking trillion disc.
Yeah.
800 billion. That's like what? 16 fucking vendettas.
No, okay. Well, this is the thing.
I wish I
on-
could sell my vendetta for that much.
So on fuck. Okay, so if you look at Zkill, they priced the Vendetta with its fit and rigs at like 150 billion. You cannot sell a Vendetta for anything above 80 in Delve. I think that's like the max
Guys,
price
that's the
currently.
thing, you are missing out on this.
Yeah, you're
Because prices inside the Imperium are way differ for what is
Oh no,
outside
I know.
the Imperium.
What I was trying to tell him is like you can knock 100 bill off that. We did not spend that much on that damn ship. Also, Balgorns have the wrong price on Zkill too, because on Zkill they priced them at like over half a billion to like 600 million, and they're only like 400 for us.
Again,
That's the
Dom,
thing. That's why we don't care about the E-score. This is why we always talk about this, and we need to go back to this, because whatever the website tells you, it's never the price that we have it. Because
And,
like
like-
we have our own industry, we do everything all by ourselves. Like it's totally different, and that's why it's funny. Because even if you see a fight where we won by way more than that, or a fight that we lost like not even half what the fuck is there. So are we really going to discuss prices?
During like before they did all the ratting and mining changes, or like the EHP and the mining changes, I bought my Nyx with rigs for only 9 bill, like just 9 bill straight up with Tech 2 rigs. And I'm sure there are plenty of other people also bought it for that. And then after the EHP nerfs and all that, people were literally fire selling fitted supers. Like they might have been ratting fits, so you'd have to buy
still
the
got
rigs.
the rigs.
Yeah, well, you would have to change
Or
the
something.
rigs because they had like a stupid hyperspatial hell or whatever. But they were fire sailing a fitted super for like 20 bill or less.
I may tell you that I have a full fitted hell that cost me 12 and a half billion.
Yeah,
And
That
hold
sounds
on,
about right, yeah.
Now,
I
like,
want to point this
I
out.
still-
I want to point this out to the Twitch chat. We're not saying that we won the fight.
No,
God,
we
no.
ate shit.
We ate shit like nuts. Like, bro, we
had
don't
fun.
care.
We didn't
We're
spend
just-
as much as you
we're-
think we did.
We're just saying to the Pappy people that sit in their like comms and they're like, "Oh my god, guys, did you see? I destroyed 150 billion in a singular freaking ship." No, you didn't.
And
It's also
also,
important to remember that we didn't go all in on that fight.
we didn't.
Yeah.
We only
No,
went as far as our supers.
Okay, no, here's another thing I really want to bring up, okay? So the hostiles were pre-pinging, like, all day for that fight. We pre-pinged, like, 2 hours in advance and had almost equal super carrier numbers.
Yeah, like let's talk about the numbers in general, right? So on the kill board, and obviously kill board doesn't show all the numbers, but what was involved was 2,000 Pappy and 1,000 Goon Swarm, roughly, right?
Yep.
If I remember correctly, on the Y2 Keepstar in subcaps, they had 3,500. Where did the other 1,500 go?
They sat there and they waited.
Well, no, the other thing is you also got to think time zone difference. This was USTZ. USTZ, even general, USTZ has less players. And now that the war is shifting to a USTZ kind of thing, it's either going to be whose yours are going to stay up later, or who's going to have the more people in USTZ.
No, I like Life
But
Tap's
what's the point
answer
of
of all
staying-
of them are in Nyarja.
You have to look at it. What's the point of them staying up late to not undock because somebody says, "Oh, the node's not reinforced," or
pass.
some other bullshit fucking reason? Like,
That happens
you're
a
asking me
lot.
to jump on this game and sit there with my thumb in my ass while you decide if I'm going to play or not? No, of course I'm not going to come after the 18th time you don't show up.
I think that's got to be like their EU's got to be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like we're staying up till 3, 4 in the morning for you, and then sometimes they're not getting a fight. And a lot of the time, I mean, this is the first time that they've pinged all day for recently, and there's like, okay, we're coming, and they've come to that the Tatara fight. But before that, the initial armor timer, they didn't come to that. We were all formed up. They outnumbered us by 400 dudes, and they still wouldn't fight us.
But they weren't 1,000 ahead of us, so that's why they didn't want to jump into
No, it's because they are literally like, as much as they claim, oh, it's good for the game, it's good for the game. Bullshit. Like
You know what
literally,
they
all
want?
they've done is they've created the largest blue donut the game has ever seen.
It's a
It is
croissant.
allowed. Oh, what? Well, sorry, you got to call it. You got Declan's the croissant. Declan into like Awasa, that's the croissant. As Rich Richmond likes calling it, because he calls it the botting croissant. But if you really look at the game right now, all it's created is mass blue donuts, So there's, solo PvP for the guys who like that in their alliances. They can't go and hit each other as much. And at this point, if you look up north in Declan, while this is going on, there was a bunch of smaller groups living there. Well, Fraternity is off evicting all of the smaller groups and taking a whole nother set of regions. But no one's
yeah.
looking at that. Like,
I
I've
was
tried
gonna say.
Yeah, like Fraternity is right now just evicting the shit out of people and claiming all this space in Vale of Silent and Tribute.
I was gonna say, like, we went up there and like cleaned it out, allowing small alliances to come in and start and grow and try to gain ground. And Frat has now been left to their own devices and is expanding at an accelerated pace. When is it their turn?
They made 20 trillion ISK on the last MER. Because me and a couple of my guys are pricing this out. 20 trillion for Frat and Associates.
So what's
Delve? Hold up, Delve at its peak did I think six trill at its peak.
What?
Yeah.
No, we mine or we would rat 12 trill and mine 12 trill.
Was it 12
I mean,
trill?
not right now. Oh yeah.
No,
we made 24 trillion in 1 month last year, or like before that.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
Don't forget about the Delve time unit.
Yeah, we made rocks our bitch.
Don, I messed up the statistic. It was after the changes. Our best ever was 6.
Oh, okay. Yes, you're right then. Yes,
sorry, I messed up the statistic. Someone PM'd me on that.
Yeah, back in the DTUs, it was like 600 million a minute.
Yeah, and now they're making like fucking God knows how much Fraternity is. And where's that is going? Right into their pockets to get supers that they're going to go and wipe out Test with once this shit's over. Because that's what's going to happen to Test. Test, like, no matter what happens, Test have screwed themselves. And I don't think Philly has fully realized it yet.
So what Pappy wants, from my understanding, from what Pappy wants here, is Pappy saw us do to Tribute and all that good shit that we did last year, right? And how we just totally steamrolled them, how they gave no resistance to us, they immediately just evac'd and crawled into their little freaking corner. That's what they want us to do, except they're expecting our corner to be 1DQ and then they just completely annihilate us. Their expectation is that, oh my god, there's a Fortizar hull timer, and instead of contesting it, goons are just going to roll over and die, and that's what they want us to do. But it's not going to happen. It's not.
And also, Dunk, you say this is a rationalization hour. Can you rationalize being allies with Frat, which are some of the biggest spotters in the game? Can you rationalize that for me, Dunk? Like, why you're allying with them?
No attacking the chat. Anyways, what I will say is with Frat having their fun, gaining some ground, recovering from their wars, and having almost no one bothering them, I can almost guarantee that when they come to take NC dot space or test space or anyone else's space, we are not going to help. We are not going to defend you. We're probably going to sit back and watch and probably dunk on whoever they're shitting on, just for fun.
We might third party. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, we'll third party, but I know shit. I'm not going to be super excited about helping defend anybody from Frat. Let them have their fun. Fuck it.
Well, you care what they do. We don't give a single shit. We are just going to dump Test. That's it. Yeah. We made it pretty clear. I'm saying Mittens made it pretty clear that Test is next. So that's it.
Here's the thing, and like this is going on, just gave them a massive window to build up more and wipe out an area that was hopefully going to become a third, block eventually. That was kind of the hope that at least I had.
When they become the fourth block, get out there.
Yeah, well, sorry, I'm talking about freight train diplomacy, conifers, all those guys eventually forming a fourth block, which would be good for Eve, because realistically, server's out of balance when it comes to, okay, we have 3 major coalitions, 2 of them are banded together to fight 1. Realistically, server needs 4 or more, so then it's more balanced out, and then you have a lot more smaller size shit going on. So what Pappy thinks is, oh, we're gonna wipe out goons and it's gonna fix everything. That's their shit, and that's no. What you're gonna do is Frat's gonna do all the shit and build up all sorts of IS stores while you're burning your IS stores and then wipe you the fuck out.
So that was the Tuesday fight. and actually we did really well at Tuesday fight, circling back. Up until we got kind of caught on a warp, and like half the fleet got bubbled and died. But throughout the actual fight, like we're fighting like 3 or 4 fleets of eagles and stuff like that, and most of our super trains did not go down. Like, and they were trying to primary bassies off the grid, and I was adamant, like, not another one of my Logi are dying today. And we didn't lose a single Logi until we got separated, and some people died. I made it home, but so then we moved to yesterday, which we've talked a lot about already, but I think now we can fully get into it and go and kind of get everybody's kind of viewpoint throughout the fight. We've heard some of Maniacs, but I really do like your stuff. Docs, if you want to go over what happened with you.
Wow. I'm probably gonna miss something here, but from what I remember, when we warped back up to Asher, at some point before that, I'd accidentally selected my super instead of just my fighters. So when I was pressing F1 to start shooting dreads, I accidentally turned on my NSA, so I was pretty much stuck down there. I think I was in bubbles anyway, but yeah, I was stuck. So obviously I turned my NSA off and tried to warp, and I realised I'm still in bubbles. And then obviously I'm sitting there for a while killing stuff, whatever. But a little bit afterwards, they finally get the bubbles down, and I start trying to de-aggress, and then the Munin fleet starts primarying me about halfway through. But there was one point that kind of
You're in
shook
a
me a
hell,
little bit. Yeah, I was in hell.
right?
So one guy, I forget who it was, he like afterwards when nothing came of it, I'm sure he was just like checking to see if I was gonna survive. But at the time, he asked me how long I had on my aggro timer, because obviously I was de-aggressing. And I fully expected that to be like a spy trying to get a Hictor on me and wondering how long he had left. So I was just sitting there waiting for the Hictor to show up. But no, I de-aggressed and eventually managed to mash the jump button about 25 times to jump out.
That yeah, like I saw you on grid and you're in a hell. Like hells are pretty dang squishy compared to. I mean, I think they're about the
Have
same
you ever
tank
looked at
as
the
a
EHP?
Nix. Yeah, but if you
No,
nuke them out, like they're
nowhere
useless.
near.
Yeah, but you have
Nixes,
to have a brain to actually do that, which, I mean, look who we're
Nixes are
fighting.
definitely the most squishy super. I think obviously
Oh, they get fucked.
a Wyvern's going to be tankier than a Hell, but I think Aeons, they're probably about in between, aren't they? Maybe about the same as a Hell? I don't know. I
You
think
can
they're
get
a
a
little bit
wyvern to
more
the
than a Hell.
you
Hi,
can get a
Brad.
wyvern to the tank of a levy.
Hi guys,
Hi.
Oh, it's
Are
brisk.
you brisk or Fountain Frank today?
I'm brisk tonight because I'm about to do the Lasers and Lace show at
Oh,
Oh, have
you're
fun with
going
that.
on
9
that?
o'clock when you guys are off. But I wanted to come and say hi to you all.
Hi,
Um,
Brisk.
Hey,
Oh,
you
we're
said
gonna
9
still
o'clock?
be going. 'cause-
You said 9 o'clock?
Yeah,
Right.
it's
the
Okay,
guy
yeah,
in-
yeah. We can run till then if you need time.
To the guy in the chat that was
I'm
asking,
good.
yes, that's exactly what I just said. A Hell is indeed tankier than a Nix.
Mifune's
So-
room is cooler looking when it's dark, by the way. Just want to say that.
Yeah, it's probably because of the color of my room. The reason I don't have my lights on is because my room's just like an absolute mess right now. I've got like clothes on top of the piano and crap, so like I didn't feel like super duper trying to clean 5 minutes before stream.
Well, since Briscoe's only going to be here for like 20 minutes, let's let him tell us about this past week in general. Like, I don't think you were on the Titan drop, but do you have any comments on that drop or on kind of the reaction from Dunk the next day or anything like that? I don't know if you saw it.
Which Titan drop? The one where we killed the
The
random one?
Ragnarok?
Yeah. I missed that whole thing. So I
I like that witch Titan drop.
Well, that's it. I mean,
that's
look,
always good.
you got this week. I mean, what has happened this week? So this week we saw
So much.
the big pass. We saw the pass, and then we saw the Titan that got killed. Then we saw the first little dread fight yesterday or 2 days ago, and then we saw the big fight yesterday. And it's like this whole week. I mean, it's nice. I'm happy we're finally fighting. It's great. And I have to say that I think that no spin. I think honestly, if we had not memed as hard at bad guys about not taking fights and not doing what they're supposed to do, I don't know if some of these fights would have happened. But I think we put some steel in their spine by getting them to want to come in.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we need to keep doing that, why not? We'll just keep harping on them until they actually start showing up on a regular basis.
And that's it. Like that's the thing. Hey, guess what? You guys show up. We show up. We have a good time. We have a good fight.
And that is the whole point, to actually have an interaction. It's not just watch and stare at each other.
I will say, for all of the yesterday was funny because I've said this before and I will say it again. The SNEC Coalition guys are the absolute saltiest winners I have ever seen. Like, it's not enough that they go and they kill a bunch of supers in a vendetta, but they gotta be assholes about it. I don't understand it. It's like when I win a big fight like that, I try to be magnanimous. Like, yeah, that was a great fight, guys. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. I don't need to rub in their faces that we kicked their asses.
My god, it was so funny, Brisk. I made a video of last night's fight, and over the video, the first song that I had on there, because there were multiple, the first song was "In the End" by Linkin Park, and so many people were like, "Oh, that's right. You have so much isk that
in the end it doesn't even matter."
Exactly, and I'm like, no, that it was just a good song. Like, I wasn't spinning for anything. But if you want to be assholes about it.
So, but Dunk in the chat makes it. People are having fun. It's all that matters. That's why when once there says, when's the last time you want to fight? Last night I want to fight. I want to fight because I got to hang out with all of my friends for 4 hours on a random Wednesday when nothing else
only
was
4
happening.
Hours?
Well, when did it start? 8? I think I got done. I think I logged out because I was sitting in my Titans in KTAX 6 and I had 2 faxes. One of the faxes I jumped in with our super fleet because I was in that group, but we never really did anything. And we were going to end up going with the supers and saving them, but we didn't look. It didn't lose any supers, so I didn't nobody to save, so I didn't have to lose anything. We were just kind of sitting there, but it was fun. It was fun. We're all hanging out. We're watching the stuff. It was a cool fight. I was watching Mifune and the guys on the show, and Dirk trying to be too strict. I love Dirk to death. But I was there's so many opportunities to meme yesterday, and he didn't take any of them. He was trying to play it straight, and it was driving me crazy. But
we had.
But it was fun. I mean, I had a good time. I'm like, finally, we get a major fight out of this freaking war. It's been going for 12 weeks now, and this is the first time we've actually seen supers on the grid. I thought it's been fun. And as for we're having fun losing, okay, well, you guys. Your goal is to destroy goons, and as long as we are having fun, you're not winning. So take all the stuff you want and kill all the supers that you want. But if we're still logging in and having a good time, you're not going to win. So that's the end of that.
Brisk, I have a question. If they called Titans, would you have dropped your Titan?
Oh, fuck yes. Absolutely.
I
already lost a Titan. I popped that cherry. It doesn't scare me. I'm not worried about that. I know I'm going to be number one. I know I'm going to be first targeted because I have 2 Titans, including one on my main. So of course that's going to be the first thing that gets blown up. I mean, shit.
I tried to get my
Titans. It happened.
The servers were so bad last night. It took me 1.5, an hour and a half to dock, get out of my ship, kill myself, and get to 1DQ. Docs had to listen to me whining about it for an hour and a half last night.
I mean, but that's part of the problem with tie-dye. One of the things the first thing I said this morning about the fight in our CSM channels was, can we get the bounty system turned off finally? Because I think Redline talked about it.
That's one thing we can all come together and agree on, whether it be Anaconda or Imperium. Get rid of the bounty system so we can kill each other easily.
So what frustrated me the most was I've been telling them to pull bounties out of the game since the frickin' CSM 13, since UALX and X47. Well, we were sitting there, and you would see all of these bounty calls constantly, and they were what was bogging everything down. And we got them to turn it off for the second X47 fight, I think. I remember them turning it off in one of those fights, and it went okay, and it was better.
I mean, it wasn't 100%, but yeah, it was definitely better. It made a difference.
I mean, in the long run, it's like, look, at the end of the day, the bounty system in this game sucks. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to. It's never worked the way it's supposed to. There's no bounty hunting. There's no people out there chasing down the bad guys and getting their bounties. If there were, I'd be dead all the time because I got a 40 billion as bounty on. So,
have you gotten it higher yet?
No, it's not. I want to break in the top 10 before they pull it out, assuming I can con them into doing that. But I don't think I'm going to get there. I said today, I was like, guys, if you guys get rid of bounties, can the player that has the bounty get the money? Because I'll take.
I mean, it's a broken system anyways. It's not like anybody gets some money off that. So just turn it off.
So, but what I understand yesterday, one of the reasons why we lost as many supers as we lost was we dropped them within tether range of the fort, and we were going to PDS all the bubbles off, but the PDS wouldn't go off. And there was something wrong with the guy that was in the chair. He couldn't get the PDS to go off. So it took a half an hour to get that guy out of the chair and get another guy in the chair who could PDS off of the bubbles, and then people could warp out. So that's what I understood what happened.
So
yeah.
last night, right, the servers were awful, and this is something I was talking about on the stream with Sven after I died. But the amount of lag, everything, like, I am gonna give props first to CCP for the node not actually crashing this time like it did with KBN. So like, it's a step in the right direction, you know. Like the node did not crash; it stayed online the entire fight, which was good. But the game itself was so broken. I died, and I was still controlling my Megatron. I was still controlling my guns. I was still able to lock people, but my structure was at 0%. I was still able to shoot for 15 entire minutes before it ejected me into my pod.
I mean that's what happens. That's typically what happens in these big fights, And I have sat through more than my fair share of these giant tie-dye fests. I think for X47, I did not leave my office for almost 25 hours. I think we logged in at 10 o'clock, and I didn't go back to bed till like 11 a.m. the next day. So it happens. But I will say this. Yes, the tie-dye was awful, but you know what? Modules still worked. I could still press buttons most of the time, and things would happen. And I never had a memory overload. So the 64-bit client, thank you. And I never had a situation where I didn't get kicked out or disconnected from the server until I got back to K6 in my apostle at the end of the night. That was the only time I had an issue, was when I jumped out.
Did you think we were going to get that many ships out of there?
Honestly,
after
no.
the PDS issue?
I figured that if the PDS was fucked up, then that meant that tether was probably going to be fucked up, and that you're going to see more of these supers that should have been saved, but reps wouldn't land and the tether wouldn't go on and all kinds of stuff. We had one. The only init super that got close to dying was in 10% armor, and he had smart bombed because at some points Darkshine's a call for smart bombs, and he couldn't deactivate the smart bomb. So his timer was not dropping, and he finally got it to stop, and they were hitting him, and he finally managed to tether up at like 10% armor. But that should not have been an issue if everything had worked fine. So
I thought I was gonna die. I was primaried, and I thought I was gonna die because I couldn't unlock anything.
Again, you need to say that history the other way around, Brisk. Okay, he had the smart bomb. He had the smart bomb on purpose turned on, and then
he was bait. He was tank.
Yeah,
he was bait tank.
Exactly.
He was shield
totally
and
on
armor
purpose.
fit.
Exactly. This was planned. This was part of the plan.
No.
Burning Beard makes a very good point in the chat, and this is absolutely true, and it's something that CCP has said publicly before. It's every time they upgrade the servers and think they can handle more guys, we throw more guys at them. So there's never going to be a situation, I think, where the servers are going to work great in these big fights, unless there's some
unless the bounty gets turned off.
Well, we would hit like a limit of how many people we have in game to like throw at each other. Even so let's say they make it 6,000 no tie-dye. Like I don't think we have enough players on either side to like reach that.
We could
Like,
do
it'd
that.
be
able
but
to
it would
log
have
in
to be
at
a
once.
weekend with like a week of hype ping.
Yeah, it'd have to be like a Friday night / Saturday morning for Euro fight. That would be the only way we could get those numbers.
No, it would have to be like CCP, like physically announcing, okay, we want everybody to have the biggest fight of their lives to stress test the servers.
And we'll give you useless garbage when you log in for rewards.
I'm all for that.
That
God,
is
I
have a
fine.
hate
box.
the rewards. Like, honestly,
Oh, please.
it's an insult.
I have a box
Yeah.
called Daily Gifts, and all of them just go in there.
I just
I don't have to
trash
look at it.
everything except filaments and SP. That's it. I trash everything else.
But I trash everything unless if I'm sitting in 1DQ, then I'll sell the filaments. For
I
like
have a
500
box
ISK.
called trash.
But other than that, I won't bother with it.
Oh, did you put yourself in that folder, DeClorian?
Hey,
Oh,
they, hey, I
point
will say the
defense
blueprints are
system,
10-20% now.
I
They're
wish the,
10-20, so
sorry, no. I wish that the boosters would go into like a special thing in your character sheet that you can activate that's not in like the gift thing. Because those are useful. Like if you could like
Well,
have a stack of those where you have like 15 of them and you can just like use them when you need them, that'd be pretty sweet.
that's the
you
thing.
can.
Like, well, they set it up that way. I mean, first of all, having a red dot on the screen to show me that there's something to redeem is going to give me OCD, and I'm going to have to clear it. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I have activated so many boosters I don't want to use or don't intend to use just to clear that fucking red dot. That's an issue. They finally
Have you
got it so
enjoyed
that
the
you
red
can use
dot
these things
bug?
in space. Working on it.
Over one where you
I
jump
spent
cloud
a
and you
bunch of
get.
stuff to the CCP guy that's in charge of the red dot and trying to fix the.
Tell him to just
the
take
fleet
it away
thing.
because
I mean,
I've been
I'm
on
trying.
fleets.
I'm trying.
I've been on fleets where I'm not even moving. I'm sitting there in my blops, hanging out, and like 10 minutes go by, and all of a sudden it says all my modules are like everything's brand new, 7+ red, and I open it up and nothing's changed. I'm like, what the
Listen,
fuck is this shit?
I will tell you guys this, and I know it's not surprising anyone, but almost every single meeting that the CSM has had with the group that includes the guy that does the red dot, and I'm not going to tell you who it is because one, I don't know if that's NDA, and two, I don't want him getting a bunch of hate mail because he's a cool dude. I
Is
tell
he,
them
man?
every time, you guys got to fix this thing. You got to let us turn it off, give us a toggle, do something with it. We've had multiple meetings. I brought it up every time. Last Friday was the last time I brought it up. They made a bunch of bug fixes that then caused other bugs. One of the things that we discovered, and I tested it out with the Init guys in one of the, I guess it was Wednesday or Tuesday night fight we were in. Every time you're in a fleet and somebody in the fleet loots something, you get an item notification and it drives.
Oh, is that what's happening?
That's what it is. It's somebody in the
Oh.
fleet is looting and you're getting the notification. And then the other thing was you were jumping in a pod. And if you were jumping into a pod that had implants in it, you were getting a notification too.
Yeah.
Even though it's saying there's in your inventory, but it's not because it's your pod. So, I mean, this has been, like my constant bugaboo that I got to get these guys to fix is get this damn red dot thing done. And I thought some of the bug fixes would help. And they did to a certain extent. Like you don't get the random Plex bug anymore. I haven't seen that lately, where you get new Plex and you can't clear it. You got to figure out how to move the Plex around to clear the thing. I haven't seen that.
I still have the thing where if I if I buy a thing of Plex and I just sell it for ISK, just kind of like injecting Plex for ISK and whatnot. If I'm doing any of that stuff, the new Eden store still flashes in my Neocom like way after I sell my Plex, and it's like I already sold the Plex. Why are you trying to get me to open up the store because I don't got any Plex anymore? Like, why? And it's just another notification. I know it's the game, but
It
like
wants
it's
you to buy
annoying.
more.
That's the game
Buy more,
shaming you.
Mifune.
It's the game shaming you for.
Yeah, that's just like you should have bought the $250, not the $99.
Oh God, no! I buy the 250s. You think I'm
That's
rich
what I
enough
do.
to
I
afford?
think the
You think I'm rich enough to spend $100 on this game?
I buy the $250 one because I think that's the best deal. So I don't want to spend the $500. That's too much. But the 250 is a good amount. You get,
250
like,
is your
20
limit.
billion.
Okay.
That's what I like. I will buy. Honestly, I buy Plex like once a month just so I don't have to do any PVE.
I
And that's what
didn't
I do. So
I didn't even wasted money on Among Us. So I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about wasting money on games.
Right. You didn't waste money on what?
The new game that everyone's playing.
Oh, that one.
Among Us.
Right,
Among
yeah,
Us.
I thought you
I
said
thought you
something
said
My
you
else.
didn't spend money
my
on a
wife was up
mongoose.
until my wife was laughing at me because I came to bed at midnight after the big fight. I'm like, sorry, I'm late. I know I was going to come up earlier, but we had this big fight. She's like, it's okay. I've been playing Among Us. She played Among Us till 2 a.m. in bed.
I'm playing that on my
I was
phone
like-
because it's free on the phone and it's not on the computer.
Look, man, I don't know, but Docs is looking kind of sus.
He's always suspect.
There you go.
What are you even talking about?
All right, well,
It's a
I
traitor
think
game.
you're the imposter.
before we
Oh, that shit.
before
Right.
we close down for the night, we do have a slight
Wait, why are we
announcement.
closing down?
I thought Brisk has his thing at 9.
Well, I got to bail, but you
Brisk
guys
can
can
leave.
keep going.
It doesn't mean
Oh,
the rest of
yeah,
us
I
are
thought you
going
meant-
anywhere.
I thought you meant it's on INN.
I mean, I like Brisk, but
I thought you meant it's
No,
on
it's not
INN.
on
INN.
It's
It's
not
different
okay.
channel. You guys
Okay,
can
okay.
stay
No,
on.
they
I
can't
was-
be here.
I was
Like,
I got to
confused.
duck out now. Anyway.
Okay, that,
They get like
I was
50 people.
confused. I was confused.
Anyway, guys, you have a good evening. Thanks for having me on. I'll try to pop in next week too. If I
Well,
get
thank you.
Bye, Papa
And watch
Brisk.
the meta
Love
show
you.
on Saturday.
So I have an announcement.
Brisk's like, shut it down. What up, Azrael?
I have tacos and Rita's on the way.
You always have tacos on the
And
margaritas
Rita's.
on the
Yeah,
way.
I was about to say.
Yeah, but this is now.
Well, we're gonna go for a little while longer until we kind of run out of things to talk about. So we'll see. And tacos are always great. But
I'm eating Pringles.
Just to
I-
talk about the problems that
Yeah.
we had last
Azrael,
night.
what were you in last night?
I was in a Thanatos. I had enough time to jump in, activate all of my modules, throw my fighters out, lock up all of the targets that I was directed to shoot, and then everything froze. Like literally everything. My NSA completely cycled before I could even get my drones back in, or deselect any of my targets, which took forever, or turn off any of my mods and try to tether up and see what the fuck was going on. So it was crazy
Did you
because I was, which was really surprising because I was like 5 kilometers away from like every red ship near me. So I mean they were right there. I was untethered. I don't know how I lived.
Seabass, were you in the fight at all last night?
I managed to jump into the system and I stayed in the tunnel for about 2 hours and I said I'm gonna log off and go to bed.
Why didn't you like realize?
I tried. I was in a
Okay.
permanent tunnel. I could not leave the tunnel whatsoever.
Did you die?
I don't know yet. I haven't logged in.
Oh
Oh
god!
my god.
Surprise!
And
Surprise,
now you
pod.
see when people say, "Oh, okay, goons care about their money." The fuck?
I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't care if I died or not.
And then Ragnar, what were you doing last night in the fleet? I think he's busy doing something, but no big deal. My adventure, I had 2 accounts going.
I was pouring myself
And-
liquor, but continued on
Oh,
until
okay.
after you're done.
Well, no, you can go. I'd rather hear your. Not everyone has to hear me talk.
So I was on the super train fleet and also on our shield. I don't know how specific, like, we had 2 fleets for shield and armor. I feel like that's pretty standard. I was on the shield one, which we didn't jump in. So, obviously didn't jump in the shield section. So, but then, there was some GSOL work, so I logged off my super train. And I jumped back and started doing GSOL stuff. I don't know if I can tell you, but there was a lot of logistic stuff going on during that fight. And so that I wasn't even fighting, I was just doing logistic stuff during the fight after I logged off my super train. So yeah, that was about how mine went.
And then
But I fought for a while in the super train. I didn't get primaried or anything, I just deaggressed, docked up, suicided back, and did shit.
So for my adventure of the evening was I started off in the super train fleet with a basilisk, repping away. They really weren't shooting us. They were shooting the Abaddons. They have like a fucking hard on for initiative. Like, leave their Abaddons alone, people. I'm kidding. So like, because I wanted a challenge, so we started like picking out Abaddons that were getting shot. We did save some actually by adding our shield reps, and so that was pretty cool. And then they called for the supers to jump in, and I was a fax in the super fleets. I was like, all right, here we go. This will be fun. I jump in, and I hit stop so I wouldn't move, and then I hit triage immediately. And I was in triage for over an hour. And modules weren't working, trying to activate, but the triage module could stay on. But trying to fucking move anywhere was impossible. Trying to rep anybody was useless. Like, even their cycling, it just didn't really see if they were doing anything. I didn't even turn my tank on because I wasn't getting shot. It wasn't until about 20 seconds left game time on my triage that I started getting targeted, but only by NSH, who have now decided that they have a hard on for me. So they're pretty much going to kill me every time they can.
So
And they killed my fax with 5 seconds. I was in an apostle and I had 5 seconds to go, game time wise, to get out of triage. I don't like shielding, you know that. And then my Basilisk, on the other hand, while I'm dealing with my fax not working, my Basilisk, I was like, they said, hey, we're gonna drop more. If you wanna switch ships, we don't need the subs really anymore. So I tried to dock, and it took me 45 minutes to dock the ship. Deagress and dock. And then after that, then I tried to switch out of the ship into my pod so I could like kill myself and go back. That took another like 35 minutes to just do that. And then all in the middle of all this, when we're trying to do these switches, Mumble dies and Jabber dies. So I can't even hear what's going on or what we're doing. And it took about an hour and a half total to just be able to get back to my Titan. And by then everything was like, everything's fucked up. We're not going to be able to go. We were all raring to jump in. It's just that.
From what I'm hearing, you're really shit at this game, Don.
Listen, I had a good. I mean, I still had fun, but it was just like very infuriating for things not to work. I really wanted to like throw down more.
Click, right?
What?
You know where to click, right? To dock up and shit like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
I was trying to bring something bigger. Game would not let me.
So, yeah,
but I didn't have the harrowing adventures of a little maniac at half armor.
My Mumble and my Jabber died too, and I'm like asking in Corp, asking in Fleet, yo, did like Mumble and Jabber die? And everyone's like, no, it's still up. And I'm like, wait, what?
Well, it wasn't
just me.
It wasn't
was
just
the
the
West
CCP
Coast.
server. Yeah.
And the West Coast, like something
I'm
got
on the East
disconnected on the
Coast.
West Coast.
It doesn't matter. There was actually a problem with the West Coast. There was one on the East Coast, one in Japan, one in Southern Australia, one in China, a really big one in China, and there were multiple ones in Central America, like going on. And by Central America, I mean Central North America. So if you were near any of those places, those ISPs, those IP addresses were completely down for like hours.
No, I'm pretty sure I know what it was. I think Mifune's mom turned his internet off because it was past his bedtime.
What I was saying, yeah.
Nah.
No, it was
So what I eventually ended up doing is I logged out of the game, and I was just like, all right, let me restart my PC, make sure everything's fine. So I restart my PC and I get like a Windows 10 notification. Now, like if Windows 10 can't establish a connection to your Microsoft account when your Microsoft account is attached to the operating system, if it can't connect, it gives you a temporary guest account. And so what happened is all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we can't locate your Microsoft account. Here's a temporary one. And I'm like, okay, so I have no connection to Microsoft. I still have an internet connection. I open up Google just fine. Let me try and open up Mumble. I try to connect to the Mumble server and it goes, nope. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So I switch off my DNS and I switch over to the Google DNS and I restart my PC and I restart my PC again, and again it's just completely disconnected. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? So next thing you know, I ping my own network. I ping my own router downstairs, and it's like 875 ms ping, and I'm like, huh? Like, what is going on here? So next thing you know, I restart my router, right? And the router restarts, and then I restart my PC again, and it's still disconnected. And I'm like, why isn't this working? And next thing you know, it just comes back. I restart my PC a third time, and it just magically starts working again.
Or like me and didn't understood half of what he said. Basically, just sum it up as internet problems.
Well,
Yeah, there's a lot of like.
I'm sorry,
No,
I
no.
had to explain it because it's such a weird situation to have, especially when you're pinging your own network. It is literally sending like a test data packet to like make sure the time.
You have that problem, just call me on my personal phone, okay?
There's
It's all
something
good.
I need to know here, though. You say your internet was down. Did you call Microsoft? Like, was it a phone call? Did you just have their number, like,
No, I didn't call them at
sticky
all. I didn't
noted
call
to your
anybody.
monitor?
Go on the red line,
And
man.
how
I mean,
did you contact Microsoft?
I didn't. I
Did
did my own
Microsoft look
troubleshooting.
like
You-
these?
Like 5 minutes ago, you said you contacted them and they were like, "Here you go. Here's a temporary Microsoft account."
No,
Oh,
no,
it
no, no.
creates-
It
It
creates a
automatically
temporary
creates it for you.
Oh god, are we
Oh.
really talking about this? Like I
So Mifune, what I need you to do is I need you to
Okay,
walk outside next time that this happens. Walk outside with like a kite and like an old metal key. All right. From there, I'll
Don't
give you
start it.
instructions.
You
all right.
you do know Ben Franklin never actually did that, right?
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
well,
does
it's
anyone
a
know
story.
who Ben
Still
Franklin is?
badass.
okay.
But
so
also, can we talk about
what's the best
friendly
flavor of
fire
Pringles?
on Anaconda's side?
No, what's the
Oh
best
yeah, yeah.
flavor of Pringles?
No,
Barbecue.
shut up,
Anyway.
DeClorian. Anyways,
Wait,
so
friendly fire.
yeah,
SML.
so
They're
there's,
shooting each other.
there's a NC Nix where while our fort is on it, most of the people on that kill are in the Test Alliance. What was it? Nightmare Fleet
So when I
that
read
shot and killed the Nix from
When-
NC.
apparently that Nix fell asleep, and so instead of like fleet warping him off or like trying to help him out, they were just like, "Fuck it, we don't want to wait any longer," and killed him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I probably would have done the same though.
Valuable allies, am I right,
Valuable
guys?
allies.
Valuable allies.
That makes absolutely no sense. But if it makes sense to them, thumbs up. Sure.
The
'Cause-
fort's
so-
point ends at some point. Like it doesn't stay on forever. They have a cap limit.
Because we didn't
Or am I
kill our
crazy?
supers just so like they wouldn't get it. Like we
With-
let them either get out or whatever. But
With
no,
the
they
tie-dye-
had to kill their own guys just in case.
With the tie dye, he probably could have warped out anyways because nobody could lock his ass.
You know, at least I know that if and when I lose my super, I can apply for value.
Goons is a goon super worth.
Mm,
How many gibloons are you gonna get for it?
7.
At least 2.
Is that scam still going on? The
It is.
doubloons? Wow.
That's what they do. You have to earn like a certain value to be able to apply for SRP, and they kind of hope that you just like forget about it.
I think the basis of that is you lose 2 of one ship, you can get one back.
Oh my
It's kind of like where CCP they sell the multiple character training things for like 475, but the lowest like denomination of Plex you can buy is 500. It's kind of like that, but applied to SRP.
How is that not against some sort of ULA?
If you want to submit to that kind of program, that's on you. You're a free adult. You can do what you want.
I remember I was hearing about this thing before I left a while ago, and I'm like, let's see how long that spins for. But apparently, it's still stupidity paying into the box.
And apparently, like, I heard they can get gabloons from, like, being a part of their standing fleet or being an FC or, like, all of that. And it all just feeds into the stupid scam. It's hilarious. Yes, you
Now-
do. Trade them for ISK. It literally says it on the Pandemic Horde forums that you literally, like, I think it's like, what, 100 gabloons sits there, and they literally have like the little slider, and you just like slide it over to the other side and turns all of your current gabloons into ISK, and then you make a contract in game and like send a screenshot or whatever. That is literally how they work.
One thing that we heard kind of in the middle of the fight, but it was very quick, and I don't know. But I believe some of them didn't get SRP at all last night. Can any of the enemies confirm or deny that? Because throughout the entire fight, I already got reimbursed for my facts last night, and I know the supers will take a couple days, but they're going to go through those and get those done soon. So, did any of our enemies answer that one?
Life tap. Even if Mifune is not good with the sword, I am. So anytime you're down, dude.
Excuse me,
we'll help each other out.
I have studied all 7 forms of Jedi lightsabers techniques, so good luck with that.
Okay, all the
tell you
props,
which
all the props
word
that
I-
I just gave you, you just kind of like put down the toilet. So
Declare, we know
Nerd.
you're good with other lightsabers. You don't need to say it.
Exactly.
We already know. You tell us all the time.
1v1, guys.
Fucking crush me.
At
We
the
did that.
sun.
I was trying to give you props here, but you kind of tanked it.
Not everybody has to use SRP or even wants to use SRP, but it does give kind of a little breathing room.
I think
In
the last time
general?
I used SRP for anything worth money was like 4 years ago.
SRP your Loki.
Oh yeah, I did. I SRP to Loki just cause. But out of how many years I've been with Goons, and I've done it like once, maybe twice.
I mean, you kept losing Lokis for Black Ops, so I bought you the hell so that way you could make money faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I bought Seabass his first hell. He did pay me back eventually.
Hey, I did pay it back. I
for
did
it.
pay it back.
I purchased my Nyx from a good buddy of mine with nothing but geckos.
My
What?
my
That
super
feed-
was gifted to me by an old court mate who I think he's like a real estate agent. He doesn't live in the United States. He lives kind of like out there, like not in the UK, but like not Romania, but you know what I mean, like one of the weird countries.
He's a Eurocore.
One of the weird
And,
countries. Dear
and he's
God.
and he's like a real estate agent there or something. And like before he won Eve, like he had 35 accounts. They all had a bajillion Titans, whatever. And he before he quit the game, he put in like 10,000 US dollars worth of Plex into the game, sold it all for ISK, and just bought a whole bunch of stuff. And like he bought the Lawn Alliance a Keepstar and everything. And one of the things he bought was a couple of super carriers for his last couple alts. And he accidentally bought one too many Nyxes and was like, yo, does anybody want this? And I'm like, sure, why not? And so next thing you know, I just find a contract. 0
I
ISK
want-
Nyx.
How
I want those kind of problems, right? Jesus,
I
he
have
bought too many
too many
Nyxes. What?
The guy won Eve. I'm not kidding when I'm saying this man made a Keepstar on his own. Like, with
Was
his...
that-
with a combination, I think like 50% were
Is that
paid
the
with
one
ISK.
that
Stars
was
are
the
cheap.
Keepstar
That
from
is...
the F or whatever?
It is the Keepstar...
You guys can't see this, but my head just exploded over here.
it's the Keepstar and Q-Tech 0 is the one that he did. It's all the way up with the Incursion right now in like the top pocket of Delve and the way back.
You weren't supposed to know about that.
Who cares? They know.
Oh,
They
well,
know.
they probably do. Aria, we tried to get Asher, but he does not like to be on shows.
I
And
even suggested Asher, so you're not alone.
they're
Ash-
also really busy.
Maybe a drum whore, but not for Theta.
What? What did you call me?
I said Asher. You
Oh,
gotta be nice.
It's almost as bad of a reaction if you called her a bitch. I mean, Jesus.
I do. I just can't on here.
oh my god, the white knights are so real sometimes.
That's
Like-
I called Dawn a slut over comms, and I had someone message me on Jabber that it wasn't acceptable to call any woman a slut. And then Dawn called me a slut over comms too.
Oh, I need to know who was that guy. Like, I need
God,
to.
honestly, I
Oh,
forgot who it
no.
was.
There it is,
Like,
but
I didn't say anything back. They just pinged me on Jabber about it. I'm like, okay, buddy.
Lothar.
Best thing I heard in a while.
Rorqual?
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
worm meerkats is. Ron likes to call them, and I actually like that name. Though he's wrong that meerkats are not dirty little vermin. They're like weasels. They're actually super duper cute, and they have a matriarchal society with only one pair breeding at a time. So they're pretty dang cute. But yeah, locust ping. Yeah, well, with everything changing to USTZ, I don't know what we're gonna do with that. I was like, this is not the plan,
It's
guys. What are you doing?
It's EUTZ now instead of
I just
USTZ.
It just won't work anymore. Um, so actually, since we've had a really impactful week, like they finally we had a small skirmish today. It did not go great, but we still delayed them a lot, and got some
So,
more practice.
I want
It's
to
good
talk about the skirmish today real quick, if you don't mind.
I
So,
don't really want to talk about the skirmish.
no. So today, I was FCing a fleet of burst jamming interceptors, and the fun thing was that we're on our way home. They were just revving a structure, like in deep Quirius that we didn't care about. And by the time it was over, we were heading our way home, and the stuff in 9CG started breaking out. And so I asked Kosicek, I'm like, do you want us to help there? And he goes, yeah, definitely. So we're in there. And, of course it's a nightmare fleet. And, of course, because of the way that they work, everybody's just, keeping range on their FC, and the Logi's orbiting the FC. So next thing you know, I'm warping on top of these nightmares, and my whole fleet is literally burst jamming, like, all 200 nightmares, just all of them lose all of their locks. It was hilarious. And then we were asked to target the Logi, and man, the Logi we burst jammed their entire Logi, broke their entire cap chain like 3-4 times. It was hilarious. I had such an enjoyable time.
Oh my gosh! So in that fight, I didn't live very long. Actually, the structure did the most damage to me. Funny enough. But I got zapped by a Thunderchild.
I got zapped. My whole fleet got zapped because
I saw the chain coming out, and I'm like, oh no, it's gonna do like 10 damage to me.
So I'm warping the fleet to this Basilisk, and the Basilisk is like within the line of the PDS. So of course, not only am I taking PDS damage after hitting my burst jammer, but the Claymore that was next to the Basilisk had a smart bomb, and he started smart bombing as all my interceptors came. So I literally just see my health drop to like all the way to structure from the PDS, and then just 600 damage done by a smart bomb, dead, gone. And I'm like, no, why? No.
So what I want to move on to is predictions for this coming weekend and this next week. The clearly Happy Anaconda Snick Coalition, whatever you want to call them, is getting all hot and bothered with us, calling them out. And you know how you get it when someone like sits there, calls you out forever. You're like, fine, I'll throw fucking down. What do you think they're gonna do this weekend or this coming week?
I'm
What do
gonna
we think?
predict. I'm gonna predict that they're gonna do a full scale invasion of 1DQ.
Oh, they're just gonna go straight for it?
Well,
Yeah,
did you hear?
they're just gonna go for they're gonna try to headshot 1DQ. That's my
Prediction, or at least my hope is Redline finally bullies his leadership into giving him keys to lead fleets, and he makes good on his promise from, what is it called? Trash Talk Tuesday or whatever? So he finally will come to Delve and lead a fleet, and then we can just crush him under our boot. That's my hope and prediction.
Wait, Redline isn't he doesn't have keys anymore?
Well, he said on his stream that he isn't allowed or something along those lines, and that he said he's going to come back and how our FCs are too scared when he comes back and all that. So I just want him to come so we can crush him under our boot.
We need to get him back on the show for this. We need more info.
I don't know if I
So,
could hold
did
myself
you
back if he came on the show.
did you guys
Lecter
hear
has
today
like a
the
love-hate relationship going on.
the first
loves to hate him.
hostile structure is anchoring in proper Delph proper today. Did you guys
Which
know
one?
that? There's one in SVM, and it's still anchoring. It's anchoring overnight. I think it comes out either tomorrow or Saturday, but it's the first structure
I'm sure it will
dropped
come out
in
by
Delph
Christmas.
proper. 3 days, 3 days, so like Sunday, Monday, yeah.
Of course it's frats, because they're the only one who has any fucking money on their side anymore to afford anything. Frats like, oh, we can't send people, but we'll chuck you 10 bill for it. Does
Frat,
that keep you happy?
Plotting frat is basically the new IS casinos. That's my take on it.
I mean, it's smart. Like, you put nothing at risk on your side, and you just hand like pacifiers over to the rest of the coalition to not bother you, so you can just rat and mine in peace. Clearly, this is best plan. But I think this week, I think we're gonna have a fight over that fort. I don't know how hard it'll be a fight, but it's in Delph, so I don't know. Maybe Titans. It's kind of in a weird range. We might just let them put it down so that way they can just come in and we can just get on with the next part of the show. Who knows? I'm going to
actually doing something again.
With phase 666 at this point.
I think it'll be 5. We're finally moving into phase 4 is rap battles, and we won that one for sure.
The rap
That
battles.
path, yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Well,
What's a rap battle?
Well, Fountain Frank rap battled Billy, who's to back down from the challenge, and then Then we've had some. Yes, and we've had some diss tracks against Mittens, but then we had like the glorious pass from whoever it was.
Is there
So-
like a YouTube link for all this?
Of the pass. It's a SoundCloud. Do you have it, Mifune?
Which SoundCloud are we talking about? Are we talking about the Pro God Legend mix?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like
I got it.
the whole playlist is what I'm looking for. I want to watch all
Oh,
these.
I don't think I have the whole playlist, but I can play the PGL remix that we have.
I don't think we need to play it, but if you'd like to share it with the
Link
group,
it.
that'd be fine.
It's shoved in the Twitch chat.
There you go.
For those who want to see it. It's pretty.
It
hilarious.
was pretty good. And then this is a good time to announce we are not going to have a show next week because I'm on vacation. But I could have still been on the show, but I believe Mifune is going to be out of town
Yes.
too. So we won't have anyone here.
I'm going to be out of town seeing a friend. It's fall break, so I finally get to stop doing schoolwork for a day, for a couple days. So I'm going away, seeing some friends out of state. Pretty much partying all week, but yeah.
Wow, you guys are gonna go party with COVID going on? That's pretty selfish.
I'm going to Branson, Missouri with my,
Literally, who goes
relatives.
to Missouri? Like
Missouri.
no one. It's a trash state. Like I can't diss
for-
people, but I can diss states.
Last time I was in Missouri, I was at Fort Lost in the Woods at basic training.
Literally,
Let me
it's
tell you,
Missouri.
you're not missing anything.
Well,
Missouri's
Branson's
nice, man.
beautiful.
I like Rolla, Missouri. If you've never been there.
Well, we rented a 4-bedroom condo with our own individual bathrooms per bedroom. It's gonna be me, my mom, my aunt, and my mom's best friend. So 3 old ladies and then myself, because I'm basically an old lady at heart. And we're just gonna go watch some shows, eat some food, go to a kegger, get
I was waiting for
laid.
that part.
I don't know. Positive is like I'll have 3 designated drivers. I don't have to stay sober the entire time.
Dawn and all her spinster family members.
Oh, listen, I'm a dork. I know. I like to crochet. I like to read books. I'm more than happy to just sit and not move for hours on end.
Look, man, I ain't gonna lie. One of my favorite things to do: sit in that bed with that TV on and just watch TV all night. It's like best thing I could ever do.
Okay, you guys are not coming to my parties.
Well, no. That's like when I like to relax. If I went to a party, it's a whole nother story. I'm the guy with the funnel down his throat. All right, choking
Here's
a
my
whole goddamn keg.
You're not
Listen,
supposed to
DeCloyd
put
over
it
here.
down your throat, dude. You're supposed to,
Oh no
put it
no
in
no
your
no
mouth.
no! You put it down the throat and it goes down easier. See the pro
It's
tips.
easier when you just butt chug stuff.
No,
talking about
that would
different
kill
stuff?
you. Don't encourage
Only
that.
if you're it only
That
kills you
would
if
kill
you're a
you.
bitch.
I prefer it not to bypass part of my digestive system and filtering system.
Sounds like you're a bitch.
You're a whore.
You're
Yeah.
you're gonna get somebody killed. Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, this is kind of what Theta's actually like, just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
my parties are really fun. That's the conclusion of that.
so we've got a fort coming up. I'm sure they're gonna hit the. They might go for the 49U Keepstar soon. What do you think?
I'm
Think that's
excited
coming
for
up
that.
soon?
Yeah, that's coming as soon as that fort's dead. That's their next target. Is that Q Star? Heck, I would love to see this Fortizar hull timer go down, and then immediately after, just seeing every fleet warp to the Q Star and like continue the fight there.
Now, Dunk said that they didn't have to fight on our Keepstars, that they could break our will without it. I like while it was really annoying dealing with Tide stuff, I know a lot of people were still raring to go to get their big boys in, get the big toys going. You know, if they go for the 49U Keepstar, do we think we're gonna use our Titans on it, or are we going to just sub it out since it's not as I mean it's not hard to get.
What I know, it's
I
exactly
think
the
it's gonna
opposite.
be.
Most of the pilots are just like, if I'm going to go on a tie-dye fest, like I'm going to go in my fucking Titan. Like if people want to, this is the fun part, because I think this is the mentality of a lot of people that I know of. It's basically, okay, if I'm going to get myself into a 4-hour fight, yeah, I'm going to drop all I have. I'm going to come with everything. So yeah, that's why you see a lot of people just waiting on their Titans and waiting for the Titans to come along or to be asked.
I think it's gonna be just like the last Keepstar fight. Ridiculous amounts of fighter kills. Just an endless stream of fighters.
I mean, I'm more than fine waiting for them to like not doing that Keepstar. I mean, like I want to have fun and like do stuff on that Keepstar, but I'm more than happy to not have to bid anywhere. It would be really nice to just like jump right in and there we go. But
It would be kind of nice if they brought it to 1DQ. Yeah.
my Titan is special because it's the last Titan that Nolak ever sold before he got banned for RMT. So
Oh, God, I barely remember that name.
Well, you know what
Yeah.
that means, don't you?
Do
I
you
don't know
need
where
a
the Titan
loan?
came from. I bought it for it on
He
contract.
sells you a Titan, and then all of a sudden he gets banned for RMT.
Don, that's just like, or not Don, Docs. It's just like getting someone blacklisted or selling them rigs. So
Hey, no.
Listen, I'm the kiss of death for people sometimes. I think I've known more people who've gotten blacklisted. I've known at least 3 people, maybe 4 that have gotten blacklisted for shit,
Jack of
whatever it was.
dog. We already admitted we got fucking shitted on in that fight. No one's saying otherwise. Yeah, we already talked about it.
Dawn will be super pissed if they attack ZXB.
I don't think that's even gonna happen. Like for a long time. I mean, if they want to go for it, like I don't fucking care. I didn't build the Keepstar. Actually, that Keepstar is the funny Keepstar, right? So that particular one was put in the worst place possible by
No, they
Violent
fixed
Rabbit Hutch. No, I'm getting there. So they put that Keepstar out in the middle of butt fuck nowhere ZXB, and it was put down by Violent Rabbit Hutch, who we found out later was a spy corp from Frat. So the whole corp got nuked. We basically got a Keepstar for free out of it. So if it dies, it's fine with me. Particle stuff I care
Now
about.
confirm goons have benefited from frat RMT. I guess we're the bad
Well,
guys.
Oh, look, Billy's here.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Huh.
He was super spicy not this Tuesday, but the previous Tuesday. We never got to go over it. But gosh, like the attitude went from like 5 to like 11. Like, he
That's
was
good
so
on
like,
my. That's good on my book.
oh, you did see the frazzle?
Yeah, if I am on grinder and I see a 5 and then it goes to an 11, like it's fucking amazing.
No, it's like, if you know what I mean. Anyways.
Theta comms,
Okay.
folks. Theta comms. Welcome.
Oh yeah. I remember now the other thing I wanted to talk about. So all this is happening, and I believe someone will have to correct us if this is wrong, but from what we talked about, there is a storm heading to Delve. And it's the no cloaking storm. The electrical one is heading down the chain of Fountain, and I think it's on its way.
You better watch out,
So-
CCTV. I'm a coming for you. I'm gonna murder all of them, I swear.
What?
In
All of the
game.
CCTV, yes,
Right.
yes. All the CCTV footage, alt accounts, I'm gonna kill all of them.
Yeah, it's easy enough to kill him because they DC all the time, or he like forgets to cloak them all over Dell, and they don't do anything anyway. Like he's everywhere, and it's absolutely worthless. He doesn't do anything with them. Like if he did, you'd see like drops, actual
It's
real
not like
drops,
Omega or
way more often.
Yoshi.
It's
When they-
psychological warfare. Oh, it's still working too, right?
No,
It
no, the
doesn't
thing
work.
is,
It's
So
like,
I don't ever want to talk about Omeka ever.
live
Like
through
he
Omega
deserves
and
no
Marshi.
attention.
but that's the thing.
Kinda
Like,
can't do nothing.
I lived under Omeka and Marsh. At least they dropped. Like for months, I protected Dell with the 1DQ thing. With you standing also. Against Omeka and Delve. Like CCTV, I still haven't like give a shit to that. So
Yeah, I don't know who he works with or what he says or does anything with. Which I guess
We
isn't the
really-
worst
we
thing in the
actually
world.
want conflict. We want things to happen.
I mean, I guess he's doing his job by just being in system, but like we know how to deal with that, and honestly, we just ignore him most of the time because like it doesn't do anything.
Old tactics.
Yeah. So
Like yeah, like when Omeka like was like, I'm quitting the game for a while, whatever it was. You know, there were other people who were like, oh, I'm gonna jump up and do what Omeka did, and it's like, okay, you're not new. We've dealt with this for like 4 years. Whoop-de-doo.
and we probably dealt with the best for those 4 years, because like he's good at what Omeka and Marshy are good at what they do, which is cloaky camp and be opportunistic people to, catch a super like a Rurkle. Like they're good at that. But this CCTV guy is not in the slightest. Also, Omeka, even though he says he's leading game, he still keeps sticking his nose into Eve and putting in his opinion that no one asked for after he left. He should just focus on his PhD.
And he's having a baby, I think.
Yeah,
would
like,
say
dude,
that
you
too.
have your real life to focus on. Even you said it yourself. But you keep sticking your nose in where you don't, like, you've left. Like, go do your thing. I just
would
don't
you
get it.
say that you put the bar really low by comparing it to Omega, but at the same time they are not even reaching that? So
Yeah, I know.
Like, my only thing I'm gonna say about Omeka is he gets attacked a lot, if he wants to call it that, because he makes himself a target.
He puts himself out there, yeah. And Redline does the same thing. I know he was complaining on his Trash Talk Tuesday. He's like, oh, I always get, because of which corp I'm in, people attack me. I'm like, it's because you have shows like this. Like, if you didn't do that, people wouldn't know who you are, and they wouldn't go out of their way to talk shit to you. Like,
by watching
my
that,
mind.
okay, I was
What
reading
did you say,
that.
Billy?
Exactly. Like I want the
Baby
new.
He said
I know,
he's
no,
having your
I
baby.
want the next. I want the next fanfic to be about this. I'm not even
Cat-
joking.
That's like
Oh.
frozen for me. I
I
don't
think
see that.
Billy's saying that he wants to have
Oh
Dawn's
wait, Billy
baby.
is pregnant. He's having
I'm-
Dawn's baby. Okay, I see the whole conversation.
Exactly. I want Dawn Dominatrix on this.
Oh,
That's
speaking of
great.
Dawn the Dominatrix, I matched with a girl on Tinder whose name was Dawn, and in her bio she said she was a dominatrix. So it's funny
Oh,
that you mentioned
God.
that because
Oh,
I just ran
God.
into the real life personification of Dawn as a dominatrix.
Why? Why don't I believe that? And I think it was
I'll
Grinder
fucking
and it
send
was.
you. I'll fucking send you the screenshot. Hold on.
Okay.
God, now they're gonna make Dominatrix like a thing, and
Exactly.
I'm not
Oh, it's
gonna say
definitely a thing now. That's
I'm not gonna say it's untrue, but
It's
Like-
it's done. It's done.
hopefully they'll forget about it.
not at all.
Now, okay, let's talk here though about reaction wise, because like Almeca's always like they say bad things about me. They're super cruel. They say bad words, and yes, people do. And I wish they didn't, because like it's really not necessary. Like I have fun in Trash Talk Tuesday channel, poking and spurging and getting mad at people, but also like laughing it off when they do it to me, because like I really don't care. And he complains about like, oh, goons do this, goons do that. I'm like, no, sir, you started this. We were happily doing our thing, getting ready for war, and then you decided to come down and poke at us and try to get. It's like when someone like goes to poke a bull and then gets upset when it runs them over. Like you started it. I'm sorry.
I'm
Don't
going
mess
to
with the
be
bull if you
honest.
don't want the horns.
I'm going to be honest. I don't even see the shows that I'm on, so just now. I don't know. I don't even know where that runs. I don't know the Twitch thing or anything.
But yeah, like we don't ever have to be mean to anybody. We've had enemy people on the show before. Billy was on here and I think we all had a really nice time talking and chit chatting. I do apologize, kinda got a little
Hold
crazy.
myself
but
back so much. I still do.
even Pickles was on and he was trying, I could tell he was trying to get a little something going. But, we had a good time. And I don't feel like we ever had to like be mean to each other in game in general, unless someone starts it first, I guess. But I think we're at the end of it. There's some stuff that seems to be popping off. So I think, does anyone have anything closing they want to talk about or bring up real quick?
Okay, yeah.
My tacos
first
are going to be
of all-
here very soon.
So
And your
first of
Ritas?
all, I don't
And my
like
Ritas.
Tinder because it doesn't show the weight and height of people, so that's fucked up. And second of all, Ragnar, just let me finish this. Ragnar, you don't know how to put conversation on Tinder. That's fucking horrendous. Okay?
Declorian. I don't spend all day on dating apps like you do.
Oh, me neither. I just do it normally. Just dating apps is just a boost from the.
Declorian, I gotta
from
ask you a
the-
question.
Yeah, go.
Do you know how to dance to Thriller?
Yes.
Okay, because we're all looking at your picture here, and you look just like Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah. Oh, everyone's
Alright,
looking at
so,
like. Do you have a person? Do you have like a shared chat or everything for my OnlyFans?
So we do have to go as things are happening, both in game and out of game for some people. I hope everybody enjoyed this week of Theta Thursday. Again, next week no Theta Thursday, and that is because me and Don will both be on vacation in places. So our next Theta Thursday should be October 8th, which will be fun. I hope everybody enjoyed tonight. And I hope to see you all soon.
See
Thanks so
ya.
much for coming. We had a great show, I thought. and
See you
everyone
guys.
was
Bye.
great, so thank you.
Be by fucking Dawn. I'll be able to speak my mind.